Good day, students and teachers. We are now here again at PhilSci Hub Ed, and today we will discuss another topic. But for now, we will discuss topic for Earth Science. And before we start, let me introduce myself to you first. My name is Kuya IMG, and I am a third year BSMST student from University of the Philippines, Las Bañas, and I'm your Biology and Earth Science module curator here in PhilSci Hub. And to start our discussion, let me present to you this video. So as you can see, mayroon tayong lightning and ashes na nakikita sa kalangitan natin. And I know most of you are familiar with this time lapse, with this event. And kung mapapansin nyo, kung nasa isip nyo ay ang Taal Volcano Eruption, tama. Ito ay ang Taal Volcano Eruption na naganap noong January 2020, noong nakaraang taon. And ito ay may kinalaman sa i-discuss nating topic sa field ng Earth Science ngayong araw. And our topic for today is all about volcanoes. Kaya naman, ating paghandaan ang ating mga sarili sapagkat marami tayong tatalakayin na may kinalaman lalo na sa nagdaang pagputok ng bulkan. Maraming mga myths and facts tayong matutuklasan dito sa topic na to. And this topic is for grade 9 science and their third quarter. Bale, this is our first module for the Earth Science, and the ating content standards for this topic is all about the volcanoes that are or that can be found in the Philippines. And ang ating milks or ang most essential learning competencies ay ang mga sumusunod. So the students should describe the different types of volcanoes and volcanic eruption. And the students should explain what happens when volcanoes erupt. And lastly, the student should illustrate how energy from volcanoes may be tapped for human use. And with that said, let's start. So, ano nga ba ang volcanoes? So, volcanoes are evidences of internal heat that the Earth is capable of releasing onto surface. So, mamaya mapapansin natin kung paano nga ba nabubuo ang isang bulkan at paano ito pumuputok. So, basically and technically, ang mga bulkan lamang ay ebidensya ng init or na nagmumula sa ating Earth, sa Earth. And yung init na to mula sa subsurface ng Earth natin, which includes yung upper part ng mantle and of course yung crust natin. So mamaya yung mga layers na to madidiscuss din natin. So what are the common features of volcanoes nga ba? So kung mapapansin natin sa mga bulkan sa ating paligid, lalo na dito sa ating bansa, karamihan at malimit talaga sa kanila ay cone-shaped and they gives off hot gases and meron silang crater and nag-iimit sila ng hot rocks kapag nag-e-erupt. And of course, saan lumalabas yung mga rocks, ashes, and lava natin? Of course, sa opening nun, which is nasa top, nasa taas. So, ang tawag doon, mamaya, i-discuss din natin, yung crater and caldera natin. Okay? So, paano nga ba natin madidistinguish ang mga volcanoes? So, ayon sa PhilVox, ang ating classification, unang-una, ay based on their eruption or kung kailan sila huling nag-erupt or kung meron ba silang eruption history. So, active volcano first is those volcanoes that have a record of eruption within the last 600 years or those that erupted 10,000 years ago based on the analysis of their materials. On the other hand, kabaliktaran ito ng inactive volcano. So, ang inactive volcano naman, kung mapapansin nyo, itong nasa picture natin. Ito naman yung mga hindi pa nagkakaroon ng eruption history for the last 10,000 years, and their physical form is being changed by agents of weathering and erosion through formation of deep and long gullies. So dito, pag zoom in natin, marami itong deep and long gullies or yung mga ravine natin, mga bangin na nabuo sa pamamagitan ng pressure from the flowing water. And of course, an active volcano, hindi siya pumuputok or hindi pa pumuputok. Yun yung difference ng active sa inactive volcano natin. So what are some of the active volcanoes in the Philippines? So mahalagang malaman natin to para aware tayo kung saan yung mga places in our country that kailangan natin mag-ingat. Lalo na kung super active talaga, like merong alert level yung ilang sa mga ito. So, kung mapapansin nyo, ang isa sa pinaka kilala dito ay yung Banahaw, and then yung ating hibok-hibok sa Camiguin. So, marami. So, we have 24 total of list of active volcanoes. And dito sa page na to, dito yung marami talaga na sikat, like yung Canlaon natin sa Negros Oriental and Negros Occidental. Nasa pagitan siya nitong dalawang to. And next, yung ating Mayon, ang ating perfect cone na volcano sa Albay. And next, we have the Pinatubo, at ito talaga yung as in sobrang lakas ng pagputok nung nakaraang last eruption nito. And ito ay naka-locate sa boundaries ng Pampanga, Tarlac, and Zambales. So marami siyang kinapibilangan na probinsya. And last, ito ang Taal Volcano na recently lamang pumutok, and ito ay nakalocate sa Batangas. And ano nga ba yung mga parts ng isang bulkan? So we have summit, yung pinakatuktok. We have our base, nasa baba. And of course, yung slope, yung downward part ng ating bulkan. Next, we have the internal parts of the volcano. So una, meron tayong volcanic magsimula pala muna tayo dito sa pinaka baba. So, yung magma chamber natin. So, dito naiipon lahat ng molten rocks, yung magma natin. And ito yung main vent kung saan dito unang or primarily lumalabas, dumadaan yung daloy ng ating magma. And then, of course, magkakaroon tayo ng secondary vent kapag nag-branch out yung ating main vent. And of course, it can also create secondary cone. And ito pala, yung nasa pinakatas, ito yung crater or yung opening on top of a volcano. And then we also have the layers. So kung mapapansin nyo, we have layers of ash and lava. So salitan siya. So mamaya matidiscuss natin what type of volcano itong pinapresent natin. And also, kapag sumabog na siya, meron na tayong mga external parts din na kabilang dito. Of course, yung lava flow natin. So, pag lumabas na yung magma, lava na tawag doon. And yung ash, it will create ash cloud through the ashes and yung volcanic bombs natin. So, technically, ito yung internal parts ng isang vulkan. So, ano nga bang pinagkaiba ng magma versus lava? Kasi marami pa rin confused tungkol dito. So, what's the difference? So, lava, always remember, lava is the molten rock that has reached the Earth's surface through volcanic vents. Ito na yung lumabas. Kaya, always remember, lava, labas. So, yun yung mnemonic natin for that. So, once na malaman mo na yung lava yung nasa labas, kabaliktaran na. Yung magma na, yung nasa loob naman ng ating bulkan. Ito yung molten rock stored under the Earth's surface. So, yun yung main difference nila. Again, lava, labas. Nasa labas, lubig sabihin, ito na yung molten rock na naka-reach sa Earth's surface after eruption. Okay? So, caldera versus crater naman tayo. So, marami din nalilito about this. So, just always remember, a caldera is not the same thing as a crater. And of course, craters are formed by outward explosion of rocks and other materials from a volcano. So, kanina nakakita tayo ng part ng volcano crater. Ito yung outward, bunga ng outward explosion ng rocks. On the other hand, yung calderas naman natin, they are formed by the inward collapse of a volcano. So, mapapansin natin mamaya yung Taal, may caldera siya. So, uh, sa ating history, isang napakalaking bulkan talaga itong Taal volcano. But, na-collapse to and it formed a caldera. And, ang main difference din ay yung craters natin, they are usually more circular than a caldera. Okay? So, trivia tayo about sa caldera. So, did you know that? Meron din calderas in space. So, hindi lang Earth ang merong caldera. Meron din ang ating co-planets, which includes the Venus and Mars. So, meron silang mga caldera kung mapapansin natin. And of course, ang ating sariling moon. It also has calderas. So, iyan yung mga bumps na yan. Mga caldera yan. Okay, and another trivia, which is timely and relevant in our country nung nakaraang taon, ang ating Taal Volcano, which has 47 craters lang naman po. Opo, merong 47 craters ang ating Taal Volcano. And the main crater lake located on the volcano island, ito yung volcano island natin, itong buong ito. So kung mapapansin ninyo, marami nagsasabi na ito yung Taal Volcano kasi ito lang yung nakikita natin sa mga textbook. But this is only a part of the volcano island or the whole complex Taal Volcano vicinity. And ang tawag dito ay ang ating binintiang malaki. Ito siya, itong part na to. Ito yung kasing parang photogenic part ng ating volcano island. But itong buong ito yung main chamber nakalagay dito. Marami pa dyan. So, meron pa Mount Navarro, Binintang Munti, Pera-Peraso. And itong buong ito ang ating Taal Caldera na nabuo mula sa inward collapse noong mga nagdaang pagsabog nito. And according to the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology or PhilVox natin, ang ating Taal Volcano ay isang complex volcano system. Kaya nga naman makikita nyo napakarami niyang parts, marami siyang crater. So, yun yung kakaiba bukod sa pagiging one of the smallest volcano in the world, talaga namang kamangha-mangha ang Taal Volcano. But, it is also dangerous. So, mamaya tatalakay natin kung paano naging dangerous naman itong Taal Volcano. Okay, but how do volcanoes erupt? Yun ating main question for this. So, una, magsimula siya sa ating mantle, which I have mentioned earlier. So, there is a partial melting of mantle, the origin of magma. So, ito na mga molten rocks natin. And it rises. Bakit, di ba? Kapag ang isang bagay sobrang init, high temperature makes the uh, this thing na magkaroon ng mga bubbles, ng mga pag-rise up kasi sobrang init niya. So, parang need na mag-vent out. So, magma rises and may stall and accumulate when reaching crust. So, after dumaan dito sa crust, magkakaroon ng storage which may magma rises also from below into storage region and some crystals form and magma can stagnate. And kapag sobra na yung pressure kasi pag mataas na din yung temperature, of course, it will form a high pressure din and yun yung nagiging main cause ng volcanic eruption natin. And volcanic eruption happen kapag naglabas na to ng tephra or yung rocks, gas, and ashes natin on also yung lava flows natin. So, after that, yun, puputok na yung vulkan natin and then magkakaroon ng volcanic gases mixed with the atmosphere. So, kung mapapansin nyo, madaming layers ng Earth. Meron tayong asthenosphere, including mantle, including the asthenosphere, and then yung lithosphere part natin, with the crust, yung troposphere, stratosphere, and the atmosphere. So, ganun yung process ng volcanic eruption. Magsimula talaga siya sa partial melting ng ating mantle, yung mga molten rocks natin. And then, after some time, ilalabas din talaga to ng vulkan through minsan massive, meron ding tahimik na pagputok ng vulkan. So, depende yon sa type din ng volcano natin. So, ito na, speaking of volcanic eruptions, we have different types of volcanic eruptions. So, una, ang ating phreatic or hydrothermal. So, this is a steam-driven. Bakit? Kasi ang ating word na phreatic comes from the word na below the ground or groundwater natin. Kaya nakakabuo siya ng steam. So, as the hot rocks come in contact with water, so of course, kapag yung hot rocks nagkaroon ng contact with hot water, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon ng steam. And of course, itong phreatic natin, short-lived lang siya kasi nga naman, wala naman talagang fully na lumabas na magma or nag-flow na lava. And it is characterized by ash columns but maybe an onset for a large eruption. So, kung mapapasin natin, yung nagdaan na Taal volcanic eruption, itong GIF natin na nandito sa picture natin ay ito ang Taal volcanic eruption noong nakaraan. And phreatic lang siya. So, according to PhilVox, pag phreatic, hindi siya ganun kalala. But, it is an onset for a large eruption. Parang, kumbaga, parang foreshadowing to na meron pang mas may ilalabas pa yung vulkan natin because steam pa lang yung nilabas dito sa phreatic natin and hindi pa siya naglalabas nung mismong lava natin. And another type, yung ating phreatomagmatic. So, medyo tulad din siya ng phreatic natin. Kaya phreato, groundwater din, plus magmatic, plus magma. So, it is a violent eruption due to the contact between water and our magma. So, as a result, a large column of very fine ash and high speed and sideway emission of pyroclastics. So, yung mga pyroclastics natin, ito yung mga ashes natin, ito yung ating mga broken rocks, yung mga lava bombs natin, lava rocks, yung mga pumice natin. Ito yung mga pyroclastics na tinatawag. And because of that, it can create base surges. Ito nga yung pa-sideways na pagputok ng vulkan. And then another type yung strombolian natin. It is a periodic weak to violent eruption characterized by fountain lava. So kung mapapansin nyo dito sa picture, para siyang fountain talaga. But ang binubuganan nito, instead of ashes, is purely lava talaga. So, strombolian ang tawag natin sa type ng volcanic eruption na ito. Next is the Vulcanian or Vulcanian eruption. It is characterized by tall eruption. Kung mapapansin nyo kanina gumalaw yung GIF natin, that reach or can reach up to 20 kilometer high with pyroclastic flow din and ashfall. So, ganon kalala yung Vulcanian type of eruption natin. Next, ito yung ating Plinya naman. So, yan, sobrang makikita nyo, it is an excessively explosive type of eruption of gas and pyroclastics. And pinaniniwalaan or based sa mga geologists natin, ito yung isa sa pinakamatinding uri ng volcanic eruption. Kasi sobrang explosive talaga nito na ang dami niya ng binubong gas together with pyroclastics. And one good example of this is yung Mount Pinatubo eruption natin. Actually, this GIF, this is taken from the Mount Pinatubo eruption nung nakaraang pagputok nito. And sobrang lakas talaga na umabot talaga sa ibang parte or ibang bansa yung ashes na binuga ng Mount Pinatubo. And it creates colder weather or colder climate ng mga panahong yun. Bakit? Kasi kumbaga na-shield yung ating atmosphere with those ashes. So, yung earth or yung sun rays, medyo nablakan. So, yun yung main cause kung bakit medyo lumabing yung mga panahong yun nung pumutok ang Mount Pinatubo. So, kung meron tayong type ng volcanic eruption, meron din tayong type ng volcanic cones or volcanoes. So we have the composite volcanoes. So it is also known as stratovolcanoes, which are large, nearly perfect sloped structure formed from alternate solidification of both lava and pyroclastic deposits. So mapapansin nyo, palitan siya ng ating lava and then cinder or yung pyroclastic deposit natin. So, it forms a nearly perfect slope. But, kung mapapansin nyo, yung ating Mayon volcano sa ating bansa, it is almost perfect talaga, no? And it's one type of composite volcano here in the Philippines. On the other hand, yung cinder volcanoes naman natin, they are built from ejected lava fragments only. And they have steep slope, kung mapapansin natin, and wide crater and are the most abundant of the three types of volcano. And ito yung cinder natin. So, mapapansin nyo, wide yung crater niya and malapad talaga and medyo steep din talaga yung slope nito. Okay? Next, we have shield volcanoes. So, these are formed by the accumulation of lava that oozes out from the volcano and it has a broad, slightly domed structure that resembles a wire shield. Kung mapapansin natin, kasi since lava ay slowly yung paglabas sa ating crater, nakakabuo ito ng hindi ganun ka-steep na slope kasi nga dahan-dahan and nagmumukha itong warrior shield kaya tinawag itong shield cones. So mamaya magdi-discuss din tayo ng some of examples ng ating shield volcanoes and other types of volcanic cones. Okay? Now, dadako naman tayo sa energy from the volcanoes. How nga ba or paano nakakakuha tayo ng energy from the different volcanoes, lalo na sa ating bansa. So, ang ating bansa kasi kilala to na nag-harness ng electricity through power plants. And one of the major power plants natin is yung geothermal power plants natin. And in fact, the Philippines came in second in the world for geothermal energy production. And 27% of our country's overall electricity production came from the power plants. And actually, less expensive talaga yung electricity generated from geothermal energy than yung ating natural gas, coal, and hydropower. Of course, yung natural gas natin and coal kasi non-renewable siya. And sobrang gastos talaga nung ating pagkuha ng electricity from those types of power plants, unlike the thermal natin. Why? Paano nagiging cheap and less expensive to? Kasi simple lang naman yung gumagana na mechanism sa ating geothermal energy. So, una, heat extracted, basically pala itong geothermal energy natin, ito yung heat extracted from the Earth's subsurface. So, itong geothermal energy, it is carried through the surface by water and or steam. And this energy can be used for heating and of course for electricity. And paano? So una, so kung mapapansin nyo, the heat, ito yung from the Earth's surface, from the Earth's crust, creates steam. So this part, dito nabubuo yung steam and then may hot water kasi nga sobrang init. So, kanina napansin natin, for resources of electricity, kailangan high or medium temperature talaga yung resources natin, which are typically found near tectonically active areas. Basically, near volcanoes natin, kasi yun yung mga tectonically active areas natin. So, after makabuo ng steam, of course, yung steam na yun, it will rotate the turbine and it will spin and it will move the generator and it will spin very fast and the generator of course by the kinetic energy that it produces or the energy that it produces it will produce of course energy rather mechanical energy pala into electrical energy. So, dito nabubuo yung electricity formation natin. And, of course, it will also back to the cooling tower natin para ibalik din yung ating energy or yung ating steam yung water natin sa ating reservoir. So, what are the effects? Dadako naman tayo. So, alam na natin yung types ng volcanoes, paano pumuputok ang vulkan, ano yung energy na nakukuha natin dito. But, what are the effects of volcanic eruptions to our society? First and foremost, meron siyang, of course, na positive and meron din negative. So, positive, na-mention na natin kanina, ngayon lang, yung ating geothermal energy, which is used to generate electricity. And it really saves a lot. So, that is one of the positive effects. And next, of course, pag pumuputok and yung ashes natin na nagmumula sa ating volcanic eruption, it really helped our soil to be more fertile, and it helps and it serves as a natural fertilizer for our soil, and it causes a healthy uh, plants natin, and of course yung tourists natin viewing dramatic scenery. But it also have negative effects. So, yung habitats natin and landscapes, it can be damaged when there is a volcanic eruption. Of course, because of the lava flows, and it can damage properties, and of course, it can damage businesses. And actually, yung recent volcanic eruption, it caused a lot sa ating agricultural sector, sa ating lahat ng aspect, lalo na sa agricultural sector. Bakit? Kasi it damage talaga yung mga nasa paligid nito. Okay? So, yun yung factors or effects rather ng ating volcanic eruptions. So, paano natin malalaman kung magkakaroon nga ba ng pagsabog ng vulkan or pagputok. So, these are the events that could happen before an eruption. So, una, ground tremors or earthquakes, of course, because of the movement in the plate tectonics. And of course, yung heightened activity natin of steam discharge. Kung mapapansin natin, yung Taal volcanic eruption nga, nagsimula siya sa steam discharge. Kaya nga, nagkaroon ng phreatic eruption natin. And of course, yung ground swelling, meaning merong active movement sa ating Earth's surface. And then, of course, yung drying up of small bodies of water on the volcano because there is so much heat coming from inside of the land surface or beneath the land surface. And of course, meron landslides and other mass wasting events. And there is unusual behavior of animals. So remember these events because when we experience this, it can really show na merong eruption na magaganap. Okay? So, dahil dyan, tapos na tayo sa ating discussion. And now, I will just give supplemental video. So, una, itong video na to, it will show you the different types of volcanoes. It is video na from National Geographic, and it can also it shows also the geological processes behind eruptions and where the most destructive volcanic eruption happens. Okay? Next, another supplemental video natin is yung ating video about volcanic eruption. Then, it shows how volcano erupts, and it answers the question, where do new volcanoes come from and what triggers their unpredictable eruption? And last, natakal natin kanina yung ating geothermal energy. So, this video highlights the basic principles at work in geothermal energy production, and it illustrates the three different ways that the Earth's heat can be converted into electricity. So, dahil dyan, dadako na tayo sa ating assessment time. And, check lang natin kung may naunawaan ba tayo sa ating discussion today sa ating topic for Earth Science, which is all about volcanoes. So, ang ating first assessment activity is entitled active or inactive. So, magkakaroon lang tayo ng mga set of volcanoes, and we will just determine if active or inactive sila based sa information na ihahatid natin. So, una, ang ating Mount Kabalugan. So, number of historical eruptions, 0, and last eruption, wala pang naitatanggap. So, again, you can pause this video and try to answer and check if your answers are correct. So, if your answer is inactive, correct. Bakit? Kasi wala pa siyang nare-record na historical eruptions, and based of from that information, we will consider that volcano as inactive. Next, Mount Canlaon. Based from this, number of historical eruptions niya, 26, and last erupted on 2006. And if your answer is active volcano, you're correct. And last, next pala rather, is yung Taal volcano natin. So, medyo obvious to. So, if your answer is active, you're correct because the last eruption na to ay noong January 2020. Okay, next, ang Mount Orot natin. So, if your answer is inactive, you're correct. Why? Kasi simple lang, ang ating basehan lang talaga is yung number of historical eruptions and yung last eruption nito, which is both 0. So, yung Mount Tamburok natin, I think you can also answer this easily. It is an inactive volcano, okay, because of its 0 historical eruption and wala pa siyang naitatalang eruption talaga. So, technically, how do we determine active or inactive volcano? So, active volcano, based nga dun sa nabanggit natin kanina, it has recorded eruptions for the last 10,000 years and or 600 years. And pag inactive, ito yung kabaliktaran. So, pwedeng dormant, ibig sabihin, wala, hindi pa siya ulit nakakapag labas ng magma or pagputok for the last 600 years. And maaring hindi pa talaga siya active because wala pa siyang historical eruptions. Okay? So now we will go to the next activity, which is the fill in the blanks. So just pause this video and try to answer this picture. So just fill in the blanks. So here are the answers. So ito yung ash cloud natin. So magma chamber na dumadaan sa ating main vent. And kapag pumutok, it will form layers of ash and lava and lava flow natin. So lava, ito na yung lumabas. Lava. Labas na molten rocks. And then, ito yung secondary vent natin. And then, it will also form secondary cone. Ito yung crater, ash, and yung volcanic maps natin. So, madali lang itong fill in the blanks natin kasi kanina pinakita ko na itong picture na to. So, it's just a test kung may natandaan kayo. So, next. Ito na yung next activity natin which is entitled Cone Quest. So, we should determine whether the volcano is cinder, composite, or shield. So, first picture. Ano kaya ito? Is it cinder, composite, or shield? So, you can also pause our video and try to answer. And if your answer is cinder volcano, you're correct because this is the Mount Smith located in our countries, Batanes. And ang nasa likod niya, actually yung background niya is yung Babuyan Claro volcano natin. And which is also active. And mapapasin nyo bakit siya cinder. Kasi it has a large or wide crater. And kung mapapasin nyo yung kanyang slope, steep din. Okay? Next. Ito, familiar na kayo dito. So, ito ay cinder volcano din. Actually, itong specific na crater na to ating pinagbasihan kasi sa dami nga naman ng crater sa Taal volcano. So, it has 47 and meron yung bawat crater na yun ay iba-iba ng type ng cone. So, ito, cinder, kasi large din ulit yung crater natin and it has steep slope. Okay? Next. Ito naman ay shield volcano. Okay? Ito ang ating Mauna Loa volcano from Hawaii. So, kung mapapansin nyo, sobrang medyo flat talaga. Pa-flat na yung kanyang surface because of the layers of lava na na-form na medyo hindi siya ganun ka-steep because of the low viscosity ng ating lava natin. And kung mapapansin nyo, it forms a shield type talaga ng ating volcano. Okay, next. Mukhang kilalang-kilala niyo na 'to. Ito ang ating Mayon Volcano and kung ang sagot niyo ay composite, of course, you're correct because talaga namang almost perfect yung kanyang slope and it forms yung ating Mayon Volcano by yung salitan na lava and pyroclastic material or cinder natin. Okay? Ito ang ating Mount Canlaon din. So, kung ang sagot nyo naman ay composite, tama din kayo. So, kung mapapansin nyo, medyo similar sila ng form talaga ng ating Mayon Volcano. Kaso, ang ating Mayon Volcano talaga is almost perfect talaga yung slope niya. Okay? So, after that, we will go to our next activity, which is entitled Complete Me. So, Geo, complete me. So, complete the chart below to show how the heat from the earth is tapped as the source of electricity in a power plant. So, ang tinutukoy natin dito is simply the geothermal energy. How the geothermal energy is utilized in each thermal power plant and how it is utilized to form electrical energy from the mechanical energy it creates. Okay, so technically we have first and last step here. So heat from inside the earth yung first natin and of course yung last natin is yung generator which changes the mechanical energy to electrical energy. So kung ang sagot nyo, answered this one. So after no heat inside from the earth, the heat will cause the water to turn into steam because the high temperature, and that steam causes the turbine to turn rapidly, causing the generator changes the mechanical energy to electrical energy. So ganun lang kasimple yung ating geothermal power plant, how it works, okay? So after this, we will now go to our last activity, last assessment activity na po to. So hopefully, marami kayo natutunan. So ito yung ating mahalagang fact or myth para malaman natin kung gaano nga ba katama yung mga nalalaman nating impormasyon regarding sa mga bulkan at sa pagputok ng bulkan sa ating bansa, at hindi lang sa ating bansa, kundi sa mga bulkan in general. So fact or myth. So, sabi dito sa statement, volcanic lighting occurs mostly within the cloud of ash during an eruption and is created by the friction of the ash rushing to the surface. Is it a fact or a myth? If your answer is fact, you're correct. Bakit? Kung mapapansin nyo kanina sa video natin sa Taal Volcanic Eruption, so merong kidlat. So, nung una, maraming nag-aakala na hindi talaga ito pagputo kasi may kidlat. So, inakala nila na may bagyo or ulan. But, yung volcanic lightnings natin doon ay nabuo because of the friction of the ashes. So, di ba maraming ashes doon sa atmosphere natin. So, nagkakaroon ng friction and because of that, it created sparks or yung lightnings natin. Okay? Next. Fact or myth? Cloud seeding is the solution to clean the mess from the ash fall. Is it a fact or a myth? If your answer is myth, you're correct. Bakit? Kasi kapag nag-cloud seeding tayo, tas as in madami pang ash fall sa paligid, whether sa atmosphere or sa lupa na napatak na, it will form lahar flow. Bakit? Kasi nga naman, kapag pinaulanan mo yung isang part na ang dami talagang ash, of course, magkakaroon ng lahar flow dyan. And it will become more dangerous pa nga. And magkakaroon tayo, if ever na meron pang ash sa atmosphere natin and nag-cloud seeding tayo to just clean the mess out of it, we will form a very dangerous and very dangerous talaga na sulfuric rain. Why? Because of those ashes. Talagang it contains highly sulfuric materials and it is dangerous sa ating health. Lalo na pag na-inhale natin yung mga ganun kasi it will create complications sa baga natin. Okay? Next, fact or myth? Less surface volcanic activity does not mean danger is over. Is it a fact or myth? So if your answer is fact, you're correct because according to Pillbox, hindi ibig sabihin na konti na lang yung binubugang usok ng ating bulkan. So, kung mapapansin nyo, another example na naman yung ating Taal Volcano kasi maraming nakampante na mga mamamayan natin noong humupa na. But, it really or it does not really mean that the danger is over. Kasi, hindi naman technically dun sa nakikita natin externally yung pagputok talaga. May nagaganap talaga sa loob or beneath the ground. Meron pa talagang movement of rocks or molten rocks doon na hindi natin nakikita na uh, yung lesser surface volcanic activity, it will not really dictate kung it will not really show or imply na safe na. So, better safe than sorry nga. So, kaya if ever na nagkaroon ng volcanic activity, humina, hindi pa rin tayo pakampante because it does not mean that the danger is over. Maaring may sumunod pa na pagputok. So, makinig po tayo sa Pillbox, makinig tayo sa mga kinauukulan sapagkat sila ang mas may alam about this. Okay? Next, fact or myth? Closing the mouth of the volcano using cement is the best solution to prevent eruptions from happening. So is it a fact or a myth? So if your answer is myth, tama. Bakit? Hindi naman kayang talagang prevent ng pagpatong ng semento ang volcanic eruption. Uh, nag, uh, parang nagtagbilang doon. Bakit? Kasi malakas talaga yung ating pagputok yung iba. And yung paglagay ng cement, wala siyang silbi actually. And yung eruptions kasi natin, uh, hindi siya ganun kadaling mapipigilan ng semento lamang ng pagtabon. And uh, yun lang. So, it will not really prevent eruptions from happening. Kasi hindi ganun ka sapat yung power ng paglalagay ng cement. And hindi talaga siya advisable kasi parang if you imagine if you uh, uh, kinlose mo yung mouth and merong umaambang pagputok, para kang gumawa ng bomba. Bakit? Kasi mas pinigilan mo. So parang mas naipon yung energy and it will create much bigger collapse or eruption kung ganun yung mangyari. So, it's a no-no. Next, fact or myth? More than half of the 500 plus active volcanoes in the world are part of the Pacific Ring of Fire. Is it a fact or myth? So, if your answer is fact, you're correct. And ang ating bansa, ang Pilipinas, kabilang tayo sa Pacific Ring of Fire. And that is why most of our volcanoes here are active and more than half of the 500 plus active volcanoes in the world talaga is along the Pacific Ring of Fire. Kaya siya tinawag na Pacific Ring of Fire because ito yung parts ng ating Earth na kung saan active yung volcanoes and merong active movement talaga along the plate tectonics and dito talaga matatagpuan yung maraming volcanoes which has very active magma movement beneath the Earth's surface. And that's all. So, kung marami kayo na itama, good job sa ating assessment. And to sum up our class, we have discussed the different types of volcanoes, the different types of volcanic eruptions. Na-discuss din natin kung paano pupupundok ang vulkan and na-discuss din natin kung ano nga ba ang geothermal energy and how it works. And of course, kung ano yung mga epekto ng volcanic eruptions, either positive or negative sa ating society. So that's all. Thank you for listening. And for more biology topics and earth science topics, just visit our PhilSci Hub website and our social media accounts at Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And that's all for our lesson today. Thank you again for tuning in sa ating PhilSci Hub Ed for our earth science topic which is all about volcanoes. Again, I am Kuya IMG. Thank you and goodbye.